Are we live? Yeah, we're live. Over here, chat. Yeah, there's just a lot that's been going on recently, and like to be honest, I'm a little blown away right now with the response I've been getting from everything and everyone this week. Oh my god, I'm almost in like shock over this. All right, let me get the share to the Facebook group, and we'll get this working here. All right, so first off, I'm going to have to go to get my contractor's license now. I've done enough small jobs now that well, let me start from the beginning. I got a new helper, guy who used to work at a gun shop that I used to visit as a kid. And I'd go down there and you know, life would be pretty good. You know, I was 12, 15 years old, and I'd go down there 1-2 times a week, and this guy Aaron was behind the counter. And you know, none of it was really a big deal. You know, just some dude that was you know, kind to a kid, and he kind of harbored my interests. And as I started doing bladesmithing and armor smithing, this guy would take all my stuff and look at it and evaluate it, give me his honest feedback, and then he'd, you know, start teaching me about guns and stuff. So I was like 14, 15 years old, you know, hanging out in a gun shop with all these adults, and this guy would you know, introduce me to people and, you know, kind of talk up what I did, which is great. And then it kind of started progressing like that, where I formed a real friendship with this guy. Anyways, that was, you know, 16, 18 years ago, 20 years ago. Oh my god, maybe longer. I'm feeling old. Anyways, he started reaching out to me again a little while ago, and his life's been through turmoil and stuff, and I decided to give him a chance because I needed more help. I know he's done some contracting work, and he's worked in the trades. He wasn't just a gunsmith. And so 2 weeks ago, I hired him on. Y'all, I couldn't have made a better decision, because like there was a board meeting for the sanctuary yesterday, and he was working with me, and I had my son with me. I said, all right, just get this place cleaned up and organized. I'll be back in a little bit. And we walked. Me and little man walked down to the church, had the meeting, and when we walked back to the shop, it might have been gone an hour and a half, 2 hours. The place was friggin' immaculate, guys. You know, everything was, you know, the sawdust was all swept up and thrown away. All the tools were clean. Everything was laid out and organized. And you know, he had some music going on, some Slavic music going on, which Not exactly my thing, but hey, great. You know, the radio's there for a reason. Use it. And who's there, you know, working on the, tuning up my bandsaw. Beautiful. You know, that's what I want. That's how. And I've taken him on a couple jobs, and he has done admirably on every single one. Took him on a small plumbing repair, and he can sweat pipe just as well as I can, which is, you know, beautiful. Doesn't know how to use PEX, do PEX pipe, but neither do I. But if you give me some solder and a torch and some copper, I can make you a nice working system. I'm a little old school like that, I suppose. And then, guys, this is, repair this, repair that. He can do electrical work. He can do drywalling, and he's very teachable too. So it's just it's a beautiful thing. First thing he did, he did when I hired him, he tuned up my table saw. He tuned up my bandsaw. He's cleaning everything, organizing everything, putting everything away. He's competent. He has decent taste in music. This is exactly what I needed. And it happened at just the right time too, because and this is why earlier I said I need to get a contractor's license. A few handyman things here and there, no problem. You can do that under the radar. But now I have people calling me. They want to rebuild their deck. They want to remodel 3-4 rooms in their house. They want to this one couple wants me to redo their entire kitchen, gut it, move appliances around, reroute wires, change plumbing, new cabinets, new floors, new walls, new ceiling. Guys. And then they want me to do 2 more rooms upstairs, and then somebody else called me, and I need to rebuild fully rebuild a deck for them. And then a few weeks, or even that same night, somebody else called me for a quote to come out and look at their dad's place and check the gas line, see if there's a leak, lime underneath, and reskirt the trailer and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get a contractor's license. I'm gonna have to get the contractor's license. I'm gonna have to get insurance now. And the fact that I am growing so fast now that I have to hire help, and I'm actually looking at hiring a second person already, and just this is a very overwhelming proposition for me. I'm not sure. I'm almost not sure how to handle this, is what it is. And I suppose that's a great problem to have. But oh my God, guys. But I also got 2 butter contracts that I signed yesterday. And really, for me to start work, it's what, $6,000 some dollars. It's several different things. It's going to be spaced out over the course of a year. Built some ramps and some sound diffusing panels. I've been talking about this project for a while. Yeah, it's $6,800 or something. The total all the contracts are. They just handed me $1,000 deposit. Like, holy shit. And in the contract, it says they provide all materials. Guys, I don't know. It's like it's 10 years, 12 years of work, and it's becoming a real thing. But that deposit, this whole job, this whole thing is to pay for, to finish paying for shop improvements. It's going to finish paying for, you know, all the licenses and certifications and stuff I need. It's the initial deposit into the bank account so I can get a business banking account. It's so every penny is already spoken for. I'm not taking anything out of it, and I probably won't be able to take any money for a year or two. But oh my god! And then I was talking to my boss the other day. He's like, "Yeah, Chris, you're in a perfect position to take advantage of this. Like all the contractors in the area are so busy doing big jobs that they don't even look at these little jobs. But there's hundreds of people looking for small renovations, 1 room, 2 rooms, whatever, right before the holidays, right after the holidays, that they need done. They're willing to pay for it. But these bigger companies in the area, they're all looking at, doing 5 rooms, 6 rooms plus a whole house, whatever. So there's people out there that want to spend money that no one's even willing to take their money for. It's just not worth it for these big companies. So guys, I don't know, but I'm like, it's happening. It's overwhelming because it all just like, nothing, and then here, job, money. And that money's to hire a video editor. So I can just start paying them right out of the gate. Hell, that's almost enough money to buy the CNC I want. That's a 1/6 of the Glowforge that I want to get. Like this whole job here, all of this here is except for what I have to pay my employee, my employee, and then when I get the next thing, my employees. Oh my god, guys, the shop's gonna be done. It's gonna be a full fabrication shop. I need to learn how to do G code for the CNC, and for the Glowforge. But guys, this is happening. This is gonna be a real thing, and soon I'm not gonna have, my head's going to be on a swivel looking for, how do I do this, how do I do that, I've got to fix this, got to fix that, going to this job, going to that job. So the days of doing things off the cusp of my head are fast approaching the end, and I'm going to have to really start looking at getting organized and getting an official bank account for the company and getting the LLC and doing everything legit from here on out, because it's time. And I everyone that's been supporting me and everything, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the start of it. I can't believe this. But with that and getting my contractor's license and starting to do all this, it also means that I'm going to have to start pulling permits and talking to people, more paperwork, but also more money, more everything. But yeah, I have a guy now that I can leave at the shop. You know, tell him I need X, Y, and Z done. This is how it's supposed to be done. Make it happen. And he does. So I just need to find an editor and find a get my licensing. Ooh, there's a chat. Let's hop over to the chat screen. Good morning, Jill. How are we doing today? How's little Ellie doing? She seemed to have a good time with Connor. But yeah, guys, it's all coming together. It's like a thing, and this is my mind is blown because of this. Like I barely know how to respond. She's doing good, cleaning up her toys at the moment. Ooh, teach me your secrets. Having Pop-Tarts for breakfast, and yeah, I didn't even talk about what I'm drinking today. I don't know if you can hear it, but my voice is a little raw. Yesterday's been really cold, and I was outside most of the day. So between being outside and being covered in sawdust and stuff, my throat's a little raw. So having a little peppermint tea, some Bigelow peppermint tea, soothe the throat. I cannot wait to get the forge installed in the shop, and that's just going to be a matter of getting that back cleaned out a little bit, building the stand and throwing in the chimney. I should have talked to Alan about that yesterday. I completely forgot. About doing a overhead or doing a side. Doing a side thing. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, I'm sure I could just text him at some point or whatever. I'm just gonna see him before I get the forge done anyway. So what am I saying? But he's still in bed. He will be at game night Friday. Okay, well, let me. As soon as I get off, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to make myself a note to ask him on Friday. What's going to be going on? But guys, wow. I barely know where to begin. Like, everything's just starting to blow up. Like, I've been giddy since yesterday. It's just incredible. And it's making my goal of being completely independent by spring. Not only seem doable and possible, but it might happen before then. So I just don't. This is awesome. Like it's all really come together. I know I keep saying it, but it still doesn't. It doesn't feel real to me. But it's starting to come together, and having this shop clean and having the outfeed table done, or at least usable. It's not done yet. It's still have to do cabinetry and stuff in there, but this means I can start filming projects and start doing things. So if anybody knows a video editor who's willing to work with me, let me know. Qualifications are, you need to start with, you need to be able to do, you need to work in DaVinci Resolve, accept direction, just quick edits. The talking head videos are $10 a piece. Bulk edit them, so you can do it in a day, and I hand you $70-$80, or however many videos comes out of it. A couple times a month, once a month or once every 2 months. And then project videos are going to be on a per project basis, I guess, but make significantly more in the project videos just because they're way more intensive, and I can't pay somebody $10 for editing one of those. There's a lot to go through and a lot to edit and speed up and get right. I still haven't gotten a price for that yet in my head, worked out, but I'm gonna have to start doing like administrative stuff, and guys, this is wild. I'm not sure, like I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep doing my thing. But this is just, guys, this is just wild. Like I have a good, competent employee who I can just teach and then walk away from. I have more jobs coming in that I know what to do with. It's forcing me to, because of the nature of everything, it's forcing me to go legit and get my business license and everything else. And it's just, guys, this is incredible. And that down payment is finish the shop. That's the electricity, that's finishing the walls, finishing the cabinets, hiring an editor that's getting leather to start doing leather projects again, because it's been like 4 or 5 months since I've touched a piece of leather. It's finishing the forge, it's paying for all the certifications and stuff I need, and licenses I need. Like, guys, this is, oh my god, this is crazy. I just, wow. Wow. That's really all I can say is just wow. So Jill, what are your guys' plans for the day? What's today? Today's the 14th, November 14th. Oh boy. Just insane, guys. Insane in the membrane. I'm beyond chuffed that this is happening. And I don't know. So I'm going to spend today, or at least the bulk of today, here. You know, writing lists out of things that need to happen, and you know, cleaning house, and just taking a day off, because I think I've been at the shop. I haven't had a day off in like since Halloween. I've been working every day since Halloween. Yeah, office, shop, office, shop. So today, 14th of November, I'm taking the day off, guys. Because I 14 days of 13 days of work. Just too much, you know? Cool thing. Once I get the forge up and running, one thing I'm going to do is make a little like hot plate, and I'm actually going to start cooking there as well. So I intend on, you know, get there in the morning, fire up the forge first thing, and, you know, bang out a knife or a couple hooks or whatever, and then turn the forge off, but then set this hot plate on top of it, and all the heat and stuff will heat up the big thick steel plate, and from that I will start you know, put a kettle of coffee on, and as it heats up even more, grab some bread or something, you know, a big round of bread, toss it on there, maybe a pizza or something. Start baking bread on there. You know, that's lunch. You know, bread and coffee. Fresh baked bread. Bread baked that morning while I've been working. Do you realize how ravenous I'm gonna be if that's my lunch, and you smell it cooking all day long, just cooking away, just quietly in the corner, every now and then a little crackle of heat as you're sitting there planing a piece of wood or doing a little finish work or whatever. It's gotta be something. It's gotta be something good. Man, oh man. I just don't. It's still barely real to me that this is happening. But yeah, this is over the next 2 months. There's gonna be massive changes now. I'm finally going to be able to fully ramp up to what my potential is, or at least what I think my potential is. And then even from there, it might go further. And that's just crazy to me. That being said, I'm going to start having to film Manliest Mondays again and start filming philosophy videos again. So if you guys have any suggestions for content or whatever that you'd like to see, let me know. Do you have any philosophical questions or quandaries, or even just kind of weird off-the-cuff questions that don't really belong in a project video or like a manliness video? Those kinds of things get shunted to like Wednesdays for the philosophy and stuff. And I intend on having a whole host of people talking philosophy with me, because I think that's just more fun that way, you know? So let's see what's going to be going on in the news. The man, BBC.com, the man who lived as a hermit for 40 years. That sounds interesting. All eyes on Suni Lee. The Great Irony Level Collapse. Lost in translation, the global streaming boom is creating a translator shortage. That's a good thing, though, because that means there's more work for people who are translators, and that means that very shortly there's going to be more translators and there's going to be more international stuff to watch, which is awesome for everybody. That means everybody's going to get more culture all across the globe, which is beautiful. NewYorker.com, how Britney Spears got free and what comes next. Good for her. Brief history of Cheez-It. I don't care about Cheez-Its. I mean, like they're tasty as like a big snack thing, but Seasonal affective disorder. The Scandinavian Guide to Surviving the Dark Days of Winter. Ooh. That actually would be pretty good for a lot of people, I think. Laws of logic lead to new restrictions on the Big Bang. I am definitely going to be looking at that. It sounds like someone's looking for me outside. How NFTs create value. Stay away from NFTs. Just don't. Let's see what this is about the Big Bang. And here, one of my side interests about you know, that I don't really talk about much is space and physics and quantum mechanics and stuff. I can't say that I fully understand it. I have a pretty good grip on it. And anything about the stars or space or whatever just draws me in. For the longest time, I was actually a member of the Planetary Society. And I actually think I should probably rejoin. Let me see. Let's see here. It's not really an Escher world turned inside out. They're all right. Escher was kind of a mathematician, and he did a lot of really interesting things with geometry in his paintings and his drawings and stuff. Very fascinating. If you ever want to have a good visual feast, just look up Escher. That's Escher. It's MC Escher. All right, this is going to be too much for me to sum up. But basically, the first half of this article was them complaining about the way the universe is expanding. Because not only is it everything expanding in a linear rate like that, but everything is expanding relative to everything else. And the best way there's two ways to understand that, and there's material properties, which deals in units like inches per inch. So like a piece of steel that is a mile long. Now the coefficient for thermal expansion in steel is very, very small, but it still exists. And it actually has very practical applications, like even in like railroads. And there's a reason they make track lengths only a certain length, and then have a little gap, and then have another length and a little gap. It's not them being sloppy; it's them anticipating this thermal expansion and contraction over a mile length and over a 100-degree temperature swing. Now it's Fahrenheit. I don't know what it would be in Celsius, probably less, but regardless. That 1 mile length of steel will grow or shrink 6 feet within that 100-degree cycle. So it's an inch per inch. Now it's not the last section of the track growing 6 feet. The whole thing grows just a little bit in every direction. And that's kind of what the universe is doing. And a way to very simply understand this is go get a rubber band and cut it so it's a length, and then tie 2 or 3 knots to it, and then pull the edges and pull it out, and 1 and 2 move the same distance as 3 does from 2, but they're expanding away from each other relative to that central point. Now, if you have 10 knots in a longer length and you pull it, all these are all going to move pretty much the same, but the rate at which the outer ones are moving from the central one are significantly more. Now imagine it in 3 dimensions, going all different directions. That's what's happening in that steel, and that's what's happening in the universe. And that's the simplest way to quantify what's going on in the simplest terms. Everything is moving apart from each other at an increasing rate. Because if this point is the point you're going to measure from, and you have 3 pieces here, and they move 1 inch, but this one's moving an inch, and this one's moving an inch, then this one, relative to this one, is moving twice as fast as this one. Because instead of being an inch away, it's 2 inches away. A little bit of a mind bender sometimes to think about it, and to think about all these, great bodies in space doing this. It's much easier to think of things in space as being slow and static and everything else. That's just how your mind works, because you can't even physically perceive the Earth moving. So how could whole solar systems be flying through space? But it is. And the coolest part of that is the edge of the galaxy, the edge of our universe, is expanding by 1 light year per year. And that is an enormous amount of distance, because and space is being generated, because geometrically, the whole universe is expanding basically in a ball from the explosion of the Big Bang. So for every light year you're expanding the universe by 16 light years. Like, that's incredible. Alan, you're back. Or, you're awake. Good morning. So I went off on a way deep tangent there, and I apologize. But space is one of those things that really gets me going, and anytime there's a clear night, I look up at the sky and the stars, and I try and pick out satellites moving across the sky, and I start looking at the constellations and everything, and it's one of those things that I really do love. I don't really talk about a whole lot, because a lot of people see it as very nerdy and geeky and dorky and whatever. But yeah, it's one of my passions. So how are we doing today, Alan? Actually, if you're still here, because I kind of went off on a deep dive myself, it looks like you're not. Oh well. I do have a question about forging that I neglected to ask you yesterday, and I should have. By the way, I love Pop-Tarts. And my favorite are the brown cinnamon sugar ones with the frosting, because you have to have the frosting. But a top-mounted thing for the forge, or side-mounted, and what's the? Because in my head, it's always been a top-mounted forge, kind of hung from the ceiling and then everything going up. But everything I've been seeing, everything is a side-mounted forge, or a side-mounted forge hood. That kind of takes the, you have your fire pot here, and the hood of your forge here, instead of something overhead like that. So it just takes the fire up and then up the chimney. I just want to know what your thoughts were on that. Because that is still something I'm still internally wrestling with, What do I need? What can I do? Yada, yada, yada. But either way, Jill said you would be at game night on Friday, so I'll see you on Friday. But yeah, guys, I can't thank all of you enough for believing in me and constantly supporting me and checking things out. I really have to thank my patrons over at patreon.com, who support me regardless. And let's go over there for a minute. Let's go over to Patreon. Oh, we've updated our terms of use. This is November 1st. Here's a summary of updates and what it means for your consent. Adults 18 plus. Creators must document that any real people visually appearing in their content, in other words, photos, videos, but not audio or animation, are adults who have consented to the content's creation and distribution. Creators should obtain and retain this consent documentation and be able to produce it upon request. That actually is something that I should probably start doing for my YouTube stuff anyways. Just saying that, yes, you know you're going to be on YouTube. This content will be edited and distributed to the internet. That's not a bad thing, and that's something I should really get to. And this applies to any content published on Patreon from October 15th, 2021 and onward. Consent template is located in our help center. Let's just open that in a new tab. Open with Adobe, that's fine. All right, got it. So, I have awesome patrons over here on patreon.com, and you should definitely, if you like seeing what's happening, if you want to see everything that's going to be coming up and going forward, these are the people to thank, in addition to yourselves. So the first one is Slippery Jim. He's my newest patron. Dude, thank you. Also, cool avatar, little orange fox. Then there's Eileen Braden. You guys see her all the time over on she comes on the live stream all the time. There's Brandon Hanna, great dude. No idea who he is, but he consistently helps, he consistently pays, and I always get support from this guy. Whenever I have a question or whatever, or I have something really cool, he comments on it, sometimes just privately. Really great person. Troy O'Grady, great friend of mine. I've known him most of my life, one of my oldest friends. He's on there. And then Tammy Gillette. Thank you guys so much for helping, for supporting me. And if you guys want to go over to and help, even $1 a month helps, go to patreon.com/Knightsmith. Really, it does mean the world. And I know I'm like through the roof now that I'm finally getting jobs and stuff, but every dollar helps the shop grow, get bigger. A lot of that money is going to start going towards paying my editor when I find him or her or them or whatever. And this is all getting big, guys. And I cannot thank you guys nearly enough. Otherwise, guys, if you don't have the time or the funds to support me over at patreon.com, even liking this video, commenting, sharing it to your friends, does a world to help grow this out. You can go over to the Facebook group. There should be a link in the description below. That's where most of my updates go, my most frequent updates. They go over to the Facebook group, and that's where I have most of my interaction with people. Otherwise, guys, I don't know what to say. I'm still kind of like reeling that everything is popping up as fast as it is, and things are starting to move the direction that we've been trying to get them to move for the last 10 years, 12 years, something like that. So thanks. Thank you so much. We're getting there, guys. So you're gonna start seeing, once I find my editor, you're gonna start seeing a lot of things popping up, and we're gonna start really making a lot of big changes very quickly. And I know I've been working like in the shadows a lot, just doing things like in the background, and I haven't been filming or putting up videos except for these live streams, really. But we're just about there. We're just about there. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I really do. Thanks for watching, and thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time, and I'll see you next week.